There are moments in life when words aren't needed to know what's really going on between two people. The way their eyes meet, the way they stand closer than necessary, the way they find every excuse to talk or laugh together. All of these moments create a tension that is impossible to ignore. If you've ever wondered whether that connection you're feeling is mutual, this video is going to open your eyes. Because today, we're breaking down 4 powerful signs that prove you're not imagining it. You both secretly want each other, warmer and more intentional, even if the other person isn't consciously aware of it. Their pupils might dilate, their expression might soften, and their body language might shift subtly as they become more attuned to your presence. These micro expressions are signals of attraction and connection that reveal emotions the mouth may never confess. It's a moment when attraction bypasses logic and manifests itself through instinct, revealing feelings without a single word being spoken. This kind of gaze creates a unique emotional intimacy that makes people feel seen on a soul level. There is a vulnerability in holding someone's gaze, and it takes a certain level of comfort and trust to maintain that kind of connection. That is why lingering eye contact feels so different when there is genuine desire involved. It is not forced or awkward. Instead, it feels natural, like your eyes are drawn to each other without effort. The connection feels alive, as though there is a current of energy passing between you, and it leaves an impression that lingers long after the moment has passed. The memory of that look stays with you because it awakens something primal within us all, the need to be recognized, desired, and understood. That moment of eye contact can speak more than 100 conversations ever could, creating a silent dialogue filled with meaning and unspoken feelings. It is a subtle dance, a language of its own that only 2 people who share that chemistry can fully understand. Eye contact is one of the most intimate and powerful forms of human connection, and yet it is something so simple that many underestimate its significance. When 2 people share a gaze that lingers just a moment longer than what is socially expected, it creates a spark that cannot be easily ignored. This type of eye contact is not just about looking at someone, it is about truly seeing them, noticing their essence, and allowing them to notice yours. It is silent communication at its finest, carrying emotions, intentions, and desires that words often fail to capture. When someone's eyes stay locked on you just a heartbeat too long, you feel it in your chest, in your breath, in that quiet moment that seems to stretch in time. There's a warmth, a charge, almost a magnetic pull. And in that split second, you know something deeper is happening, something that goes beyond casual interest. It is as if their eyes are saying everything they might be too afraid to speak out loud. Lingering eye contact has a way of slowing the world down. In a crowded room, you can feel as though you are the only 2 people present. The background noise fades, the distractions blur, and for a moment, all that exists is the connection between your gaze and theirs. This is because eye contact activates a level of emotional engagement that triggers deep psychological responses. When someone is drawn to you, their eyes naturally seek yours, wanting to hold that connection because it feels safe and electric at the same time. It's not a stare of judgment or mere curiosity. It's softer. Lingering eye contact also carries an element of mystery and tension that makes it even more magnetic. It creates anticipation and curiosity, making you wonder what the other person is thinking or feeling. When their gaze lingers, your heart may race, your body may respond with nervous excitement, and you might feel drawn to them in ways you cannot explain. This tension is part of what makes mutual attraction so thrilling. It keeps you intrigued and engaged, leaving space for desire to grow. Eye contact like this is never random. It is deliberate, even if it's happening on a subconscious level. Humans are wired to seek connection, And when two people are attracted to each other, their eyes naturally lock and hold longer, signaling that they are attuned to each other's presence in a way that feels magnetic. This silent pull often says more than any spoken confession could, creating a sense of closeness that words might ruin if spoken too soon. It is an invisible thread between two souls, a connection that speaks through silence, carrying emotions too deep to express in conversation. Subtle physical mirroring is one of those fascinating, almost invisible signs of attraction that happens so naturally and instinctively that most people don't even realize they're doing it. It is the subconscious way our bodies communicate feelings that our words might not dare to express. When you are deeply drawn to someone, your body begins to sync with theirs, as if you are unconsciously trying to connect with them on a deeper level. You might notice that when they lean back, you lean back. When they tilt their head, you tilt yours. When they shift their posture, your body seems to echo their movements without conscious thought. This kind of mirroring is not a deliberate act. It is an instinctive reaction that stems from a deep sense of emotional alignment. Your body wants to be in harmony with theirs, and so it reflects their gestures, movements, and even their rhythm, creating a silent dance between two people who are energetically connected. This unspoken synchronization reveals that your minds and bodies are tuned into each other, that your presence has a magnetic effect that cannot be ignored. What makes physical mirroring so powerful is that it happens without planning or effort, which makes it one of the most genuine indicators of mutual attraction. It is a reflection of emotional closeness and trust, because mirroring is deeply rooted in empathy and connection. When two people are comfortable with one another, they naturally begin to reflect each other's body language as a way of building rapport and establishing intimacy. It's like your body is saying, I see you, I understand you, I'm in sync with you, without ever needing to speak. This is why mirroring often happens in romantic settings or situations where there is undeniable chemistry. The attraction creates a gravitational pull that brings two people into harmony with one another. Even small gestures like picking up a glass when the other person does or crossing your legs at the same moment can carry immense meaning. These little actions might seem insignificant, but they are a reflection of something far more powerful, a subconscious desire to be aligned with that person physically and emotionally. Physical mirroring also plays into the psychology of comfort and safety. When someone feels truly comfortable and open with you, their body language becomes more relaxed, and they begin to mimic your movements without realizing it. This is because mirroring is deeply connected to the brain's mirror neurons, which are responsible for empathy and emotional understanding. When these neurons activate, you naturally start to reflect the actions and energy of the person you're attracted to, creating a silent bond that draws you closer. This is why when you find yourself deeply interested in someone, you don't just listen to them. You lean in when they lean in. You soften your expressions to match theirs, and you create a rhythm together without effort. The connection feels effortless, yet deeply intimate, and it builds a sense of familiarity that makes you feel like you've known each other for much longer than you actually have. What makes subtle physical mirroring even more intriguing is its ability to reveal feelings that someone might be trying to hide. A person can attempt to control their words or mask their emotions, but their body will often betray them. The unconscious synchronization that happens when two people are attracted to one another is not something that can be easily faked, which makes it such a reliable indicator of genuine connection. When someone is drawn to you, their body is naturally tuned to yours, responding to your movements and reflecting your energy in a way that creates intimacy without needing touch or verbal confirmation. Even something as simple as both of you reaching for your drinks at the same time, adjusting your posture in unison, or nodding with the same rhythm creates a silent harmony that signals emotional closeness. This alignment builds trust and attraction, and it feels deeply satisfying because it speaks to the unspoken bond that exists between you. It creates a feeling of being understood and connected on a level that transcends logic, as if your bodies are having a private conversation that no one else in the room is a part of. Playful teasing and flirty banter are often the most obvious yet underestimated signs of attraction because on the surface, it just looks like fun, casual conversation. But beneath the laughter and witty remarks, there's a deeper intention, a subtle way of building tension and testing emotional chemistry. When two people are drawn to each other, their conversations naturally take on a playful energy. They find themselves exchanging light-hearted jokes, teasing comments, and clever comebacks that create a spark of excitement. This isn't just casual humor. It's a way of creating intimacy through laughter, a safe way of expressing interest without being too direct. Teasing becomes a language in itself, a rhythm of interaction that allows both people to feel the thrill of closeness while keeping things light and effortless. It's a sign of comfort, attraction, and emotional alignment, because this kind of back and forth requires confidence, connection, and a certain level of trust that makes it safe to drop your guard and enjoy the moment. Flirty banter is powerful because it creates a unique emotional tension that keeps you intrigued and invested in each other. It's a dance of words that feels both spontaneous and deliberate, like each joke and playful remark carries an undercurrent of meaning that goes far beyond what's being said. This kind of interaction creates a sense of intimacy that doesn't rely on physical closeness, but rather on mental and emotional chemistry. When someone playfully teases you, it's often because they're looking for a reaction, a spark that shows them you're engaged and reciprocating their energy. This mutual teasing builds anticipation and deepens attraction because it turns every interaction into a game where both people are constantly drawn back for more. The excitement lies in the fact that it's never just about the words themselves. It's about the connection behind them, the way your energy matches, and the way your presence alone can shift the mood of the conversation. There is also a layer of vulnerability in playful teasing that most people overlook. It takes courage to tease someone in a way that's charming rather than offensive, and this balance requires emotional intelligence and genuine interest. Flirty banter is not meant to insult or hurt. It's meant to draw someone in, to show them you're paying attention, and to create a private world between the two of you where humor becomes a bridge for closeness. This type of playful energy often makes you feel like you share a secret understanding that others can't quite see. The teasing feels like a connection only the two of you share, making it deeply personal and memorable. The chemistry becomes undeniable because this dynamic is not something that can be easily manufactured with just anyone. It happens when two people's energies naturally align and their personalities complement each other in a way that creates effortless attraction. What makes this kind of interaction even more captivating is how it allows attraction to grow without rushing intimacy. Playful teasing keeps the energy light, but it also builds anticipation because it leaves space for desire to develop. Each exchange feels like a spark, a subtle invitation to get closer, yet it never feels forced or overwhelming. This is why flirty banter is so powerful. It creates a sense of emotional depth without requiring heavy conversations or grand gestures. It's a form of connection that allows two people to feel seen, desired, and comfortable all at once. When someone enjoys teasing you or engaging in playful banter, it's often because they're drawn to your presence, they're attuned to your reactions, and they find excitement in every interaction you share. That magnetic pull is what makes this dynamic addictive because it turns ordinary conversations into something electric, something charged with emotion, and something that feels uniquely yours. There is a certain kind of connection that does not need words to be felt, a kind of bond that speaks through silence and lingers in the air like an unspoken truth. When two people share this connection, being in the same room feels different, even if no one says a thing. You can feel their presence without looking, sense their attention without hearing a sound, and this awareness is magnetic. The tension that exists in this silence is not uncomfortable, but charged with emotion. A kind of energy that pulls you closer without either of you having to move. It's as if your souls are communicating while your bodies remain still, and that silent dialogue is louder than any conversation you've ever had. This is the kind of energy that makes your heart race when their eyes meet yours, or makes you hyper aware of every breath you take when they are nearby. The silence feels alive, full of meaning, and you both know that something significant is happening, even if neither of you dares to put it into words. Emotional energy in silence is deeply powerful because it strips away the distractions and forces you to feel. Without the comfort of conversation, you become more aware of the subtle signals, body language, facial expressions, even the rhythm of their breathing. These small, almost invisible cues create a deep sense of connection because they make you feel seen and understood without having to explain yourself. It's a rare and intoxicating experience to be around someone who makes you feel this way, as if their presence alone is enough to calm you or excite you, to make you feel both safe and electrified. When someone's energy affects you like this, it's not something that can be easily ignored. It's instinctual, primal, and deeply emotional. You may not even fully understand why you feel such a strong pull toward them, but you know that their energy impacts you in a way no one else's does. This kind of tension in silence often reveals truths that words could never fully capture. In these moments, time seems to slow, and the world feels quieter, as if everything around you fades, so that your attention can focus only on them. You start noticing details you might usually overlook, the softness of their expression, the way their body subtly shifts when you're close, or how their eyes flicker with emotions they might never say out loud. These moments are profound because they awaken a part of you that is deeply intuitive. Attraction is not always verbal or physical. Sometimes it's entirely energetic, and this energy creates a presence so strong that it leaves an impression long after the moment has passed. That silent connection feels almost sacred, as if you are sharing a secret that no one else can see, and this makes it even more magnetic because it feels deeply personal and private. What makes emotional energy in silence so alluring is the tension it creates. There's a pull between two people, a closeness that feels inevitable, yet there is restraint. The lack of words leaves space for curiosity, for desire to build, and for emotions to deepen. Silence becomes a canvas where emotions paint themselves freely, and you can sense every unspoken thought, every unsaid feeling, simply by being in each other's presence. This is why moments of shared silence can feel so intense, because they allow you to experience attraction on a raw, emotional level, without the distractions of conversation or action. It's a type of intimacy that goes beyond physical touch because it reaches something deeper, something within your soul that feels connected to theirs without needing proof. This is the kind of energy that makes you replay moments in your mind long after they've passed, because even in stillness, the connection was alive, electric, and unforgettable. There is something profoundly revealing about the way people seek closeness when attraction is present. It often shows itself in subtle ways, those seemingly innocent touches, those moments when someone leans in just a little closer than they need to, those instances where physical proximity feels natural, almost effortless, yet undeniably intentional. When someone is drawn to you, they subconsciously look for opportunities to close the gap between you. It could be a hand brushing against yours as they pass something to you, a gentle touch on your shoulder when they want your attention, or standing just a little closer than necessary in a crowded room, even when there's plenty of space elsewhere. These gestures might appear casual to an outsider, but to the two of you, they carry a magnetic energy that is impossible to ignore. It's not about the touch itself, it's about the desire behind it, the quiet craving to feel connected, to make contact, to bridge the invisible distance between two people who are drawn to one another. What makes these touches so powerful is that they often happen without thought, which makes them feel genuine and deeply telling. Human beings are wired to seek physical closeness with those they feel emotionally safe with and attracted to. It's an instinct, an unspoken way of communicating. I feel good near you. I want to be around you. I'm drawn to your energy. This is why even the smallest touch can feel electric, leaving a lingering warmth long after it's gone. When two people share mutual attraction, their bodies naturally find ways to connect, often without either of them consciously deciding to do so. That shoulder touch, that playful nudge, that moment when their knee brushes against yours, it's all part of a silent language that speaks louder than words. It's the body's way of expressing what the mind may be too shy or cautious to admit. Even if these gestures are fleeting, they leave an imprint because of the intention and emotion behind them. Closeness, too, tells a story that words never could. The way someone chooses to position themselves around you is a direct reflection of how they feel. If a person is constantly gravitating toward you, sitting closer than necessary, or leaning into your space during conversation, it's because they're drawn to your presence. It's not about physical necessity, it's about emotional connection. Attraction pulls people toward one another, and this pull becomes visible through proximity. Even in a room full of people, you'll notice that they naturally angle themselves toward you, that they find a way to be within your orbit, that your presence influences their movements without them even realizing it. This closeness creates an unspoken intimacy, a bubble where only the two of you exist, and it can feel both thrilling and comforting at the same time. The energy in that closeness is magnetic, making you hyper aware of their every movement, every breath, every subtle shift that brings them nearer. These unnecessary touches and moments of closeness often feel more intimate than grand gestures because they are raw and unfiltered. They aren't rehearsed or planned. They are instinctive responses to desire and connection. The thrill lies in the subtlety, the way their fingers graze yours as they hand you something, the way they stand so close that you can feel the warmth radiating from their body, the way their presence fills your space in a way that feels natural yet deeply intentional. These small interactions build a tension that words can't replicate because physical closeness bypasses the mind and speaks directly to the senses. You don't just see or hear the person, you feel them. That closeness creates a shared energy that is deeply intoxicating because it blurs the line between emotional and physical attraction. It's a language that doesn't need to be taught. It's instinctual, primal, and deeply human, revealing feelings that often stay hidden beneath the surface but are impossible to disguise when the body betrays them through these subtle gestures. There is a unique kind of care that reveals itself when someone feels a deep pull toward you, a form of attention that goes beyond politeness or friendship and becomes instinctive. Protective and attentive behavior is one of the clearest signs of attraction because it reflects a subconscious need to ensure your comfort, safety, and happiness. It's not about grand heroic gestures. Rather, it's seen in the small, consistent ways someone shows up for you. When a person is drawn to you, they notice things others overlook. They pay attention to your expressions, your tone, and even your energy. picking up on subtle cues that reveal how you feel in a given moment. They lean in when you speak, remember little details you casually mentioned, and instinctively step in to make sure you feel supported. This behavior stems from a deep emotional investment, a desire to not only be close to you, but to protect and nurture that closeness, as though your well-being becomes a quiet priority they carry in their heart. Protectiveness in attraction is often soft and understated, not loud or overbearing. It's the way someone walks slightly closer to the side of traffic when you're on the sidewalk, how they'll offer you their jacket when the weather turns cold, or how they instinctively place a hand on your back in a crowded room to guide you through. These gestures might seem small, but they're incredibly revealing because they're not calculated. They're instinctual. It's human nature to protect what we value, and when someone finds themselves deeply drawn to you, that instinct naturally extends to you. They are hyper aware of your comfort and safety, not out of obligation, but out of a natural desire to care for you. This attentiveness can be felt in the way they listen, the way they observe, and the way they anticipate your needs before you even have to ask. It creates a sense of safety, not just physically, but emotionally, because their presence feels grounding, as though they are a steady anchor in the chaos of the world around you. Attentive behavior also reflects emotional investment because someone who is truly attracted to you will notice the smallest shifts in your energy. They'll remember the way your mood changes, the foods you like, the things that make you laugh, and even the times when you go quiet. They'll notice when you're tired or overwhelmed, not because you said anything, but because they're attuned to you on a deeper level. This type of attentiveness is rare because it requires emotional connection and presence. It's not something you can fake or perform. When someone genuinely cares about you, their actions reflect it effortlessly. They check in on you, they offer support, and they create an environment where you feel seen and valued. This level of attention often feels comforting and deeply validating because it tells you that your presence matters to them, that they are invested in your well-being, not just in words, but in consistent actions that prove it. What makes this dynamic even more magnetic is the way it creates a sense of intimacy without needing constant physical closeness. Protective and attentive behavior is not about hovering or controlling, it's about presence and care. Even when they're not physically near, you can feel their energy through their actions because they've made an effort to prioritize you in small ways. They remember your routines, they anticipate your reactions, and they create a sense of trust that feels deeply rare. This subtle protectiveness can also manifest in the way they step in during social settings, defending you when necessary, or ensuring that you feel included and comfortable in every environment. It's a balance of strength and gentleness, of attentiveness and respect that shows not only attraction, but also a quiet admiration for who you are. There's a depth to this kind of care that makes it unforgettable because it's not just about physical attraction. It's about emotional connection, about valuing your presence so deeply that their instinct is to make sure you feel secure, supported, and appreciated without ever having to ask. Attraction is not always declared in words. It often lives in the quiet moments, in the way two people share glances that linger, in the subtle mirroring of movements, in playful teasing that carries layers of meaning, in the energy of silence that feels louder than sound, in the closeness that seems natural yet electrifying, and in the gentle protectiveness that reveals care without needing explanation. These signs are proof that chemistry is not just physical, it is emotional, spiritual, and deeply human. When two souls are drawn to each other, everything becomes a conversation. Every look, every gesture, every pause filled with tension speaks a language only the two of you can understand. It's a reminder that true connection cannot be faked. It is felt, it is sensed, and it is undeniable. And when you recognize these signs, you realize that what you share is rare, that this energy is worth acknowledging, and that sometimes the most powerful expressions of desire are the ones that don't need to be spoken.